new money. Now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like, you funny. Laughing at my haters like, you dummies. The night is young, girl, what can you do for me? 6 figures, 5 shows, big ballin'. Look.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Oakland Raiders and the Philadelphia Eagles. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Carr will try it again on 2nd down. And he finds Tyler Croft. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. A beautiful fake. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Room to run past midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. Caught by Nelson left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Nelson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
A try here for the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And the grab by Croft. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
On 1st down, Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Eagles have recovered.
Well, that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to roam now. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Now Amos on 3rd down. It's caught. Nelson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
This is Ajayi. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he powers his way up past the 30. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Cooper's got it. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Amos off the play fake. And it's complete to Chris Conley. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there of 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Nelson. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, nice move. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation, 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got this one down to the 10. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And his kick is indeed good. So we've come to half. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. This is fielded a couple yards deep. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now it's Ajayi. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll set up a throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been thus far. This is 3rd and 8. And here's Amos operating from the gun. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They run again with Ajayi. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he can be a big-time playmaker for us.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Now Amos to throw. From the gun, he'll throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 11 there on 4th and 10. Didn't get it by much, but it is a 1st down.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the 2nd?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means...
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Carr now on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for this.
Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Kentrell Brice picks it, and they're going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Matthews, the intended target.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Here's Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still 2nd down.
Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
They run with Ajayi. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Gone!
They run for it with Ajayi. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 79 yards. And the Raiders are back within a score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Space to maneuver at the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he's got some space here. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And on the ground they go with a running back. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
All right, now, look at 56.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Eagles, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Oakland, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try to get